This program has been brought to you thanks to the generous contributions of our patrons on Patreon. Your patronage is greatly appreciated. And for more content like this, be sure to check out the Modern Alchemist channel on Patreon.
Shall we begin? Let's begin now.
Alright guys, here we are, the Kybalion by 3 Initiates, the introduction. I want to point out to you that while this material itself is somewhat advanced, this course is designed to be introductory, meaning that I'm going to kind of walk us through it page by page, sometimes paragraph by paragraph, and if it warrants it, line by line. There are points where that may be the case. We will take our time with this document, which means it could take many, many, many episodes to get through a book, even as small as this, because I want to keep the length of each video within reason, 15, 20 minutes, somewhere in there, so that you can then walk away and ruminate on what you've just heard, rather than just kind of overload you with like an hour and a half. I mean, if you've got the endurance for that, go for it. But my suggestion to you would be to take this at a slower, more measured pace. And the reason for that is so that this material will accumulate, it'll accrete, if you will, to the walls of your soul and stick, and eventually take shape. And you'll be able to see and feel and hear and understand the depth and the beauty that is contained within so many of these esoteric teachings. Now, before I go much farther, I want to introduce you to a concept. It's an idea that was taught to me years and years ago when I was in college, and it is the idea of the last lecture. This is an idea where if a person has an opportunity to say one last thing to you before they go away and retire or something, then that's what they will do. They'll give a last lecture. Writers will also do this at the conclusion of, let's say, an introduction, where if they were to say, if I had to say just one more thing that capsulized everything that I want you to understand about this introduction, you should look here. And in fact, this is exactly what we have here. So, without further ado, everyone, please open up your web browser to the Internet Sacred Text Archive, or you can just follow along because I will be recording this for you as we go through this. So, here we are. Ta-da! This is, of course, from my Internet Sacred Text Archive DVD-ROM, which in my case is on a little flash drive. I've talked about this before. So as you scroll down here and under titles, just type in Kybalion, do yourself a little search, click on that, and we've got the Kybalion by 3 Initiates. So this is what it should be looking for you. So here we are, and we want to work our way through. Now realize that this is not the actual Kybalion. And as it mentions here in the beginning here, that this is an extraction of the text. This is something which is generated from that text, and therefore, a lot of times as we're reading, you'll hear a quote, and it'll say the Kybalion, and it's because it's quoting another text. So you could say that this is a derivative text of the original text, but it's all we've got, and it's good enough. All right, let's hit the introduction, and if you will scroll all the way down to the very end of the introduction, the final paragraph is the most important, at least for right now, for what I want to bring across to you. This ties directly into my feelings on the video I did recently about the esoteric, you gotta want it. This is it. This is that statement. This is the statement that says you must want this, and here it is. In this little work, we have endeavored to give you an idea of the fundamental teachings of the Kybalion. striving to give you the working principles, leaving you to apply them yourselves, rather than attempting to work out the teachings in detail. If you are a true student, you will be able to work out and apply these principles. If you are not, then you must develop yourself into one, for otherwise the Hermetic teachings will be as words, words, words to you. And that's the truth. That is the absolute truth. If you walk away from anything right now, it is to understand that if you don't get it, if it sounds like just gobbledygook and Zeus this and Kybalion that and Esoteric the other thing, and it's just a bunch of words, then you must apply yourself more to understanding what it is that you're hearing, or you abandon it and feel good about yourself. Because I want you to realize this stuff is not designed to encourage anyone. The esoteric materials are designed to discourage you, to strip you of the sense that you can do it. By being burdensome and difficult to understand and cross-referential in a degree that unless you have a really broad base to your education, a lot of this is just going to seem mysterious and weird and unintelligible. Words, words, words. So there you go. Are you ready? With all that said, let's scroll back up to the beginning and take a bite out of the Kybalion. Introduction. We take great pleasure in presenting to the attention of students and investigators of the secret doctrine this little work based upon the world-old Hermetic teachings. There has been so little written upon this subject, notwithstanding the countless references to the teachings in the many works upon occultism, that the many earnest searchers after the arcane truths will doubtless welcome the appearance of this present volume. The purpose of this work is not the enunciation of any special philosophy or doctrine, but rather is to give the students a statement of the truth that will serve to reconcile the many bits of occult knowledge that they may have acquired, but which are apparently opposed to each other, and which often serve to discourage and disgust the beginner in the study. Our intent is not to erect a new temple of knowledge, but rather to place in the hands of the student a master key, with which he may open the many inner doors of the temple of mystery through the main portals he has already entered. All right, we're going to stop there for just a moment. Again, we have the idea that this is a statement of truth. The difference between a statement of truth and just someone stating what they believe is the truth is that this is a statement of objective reality. In other words, everything that you read in here is observable and you can take to the bank as an operational principle of things which are happening around you right now in nature, around you right now in your family or in your community or your government, and most certainly what is happening within you right now. So that is what this book is designed to do. It is designed to help you take all of this other stuff that has been handed to you through various media and means and circumstance and help you bridge the gap so that you will understand that a lot of these things which the casual observer of the esoteric and the occult look and say, oh, this just doesn't make sense. This is stupid. In fact, I recently had a comment on, it was just last night, on one of the videos, the Essentials of Practical Alchemy 2015, the very first one. And I get a lot of comments like this often from those who just don't understand the merit or value of why this stuff has been discussed for so long and why it continues to be applied and discussed. And of course their comment was, this 99% useless or whatever. It's It's because of the way this stuff is written. It is just designed to discourage you, and these authors have a sense of that because, what do they say? This stuff often serves to discourage and disgust the beginner in the study. It's because it's written that way. It is literally designed. You have to want to endure breaking this nut apart. And once you get in there and break it, man, it is so awesome. But only if you do that.